Welcome back, everybody. We have another Rogue Legacy 2 update. Dragon's Vow is finally here. That means the Pishon Dry Lake is finally available. We're going to go over absolutely everything in the new biome. All the timestamps will be in the description if there's something you want to skip to. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So first things first, you may have noticed this nameless knight around the entire game. This is a new NPC, and he is going to be giving you a very important heirloom called the Sun Lantern. Now, you cannot get the Sun Lantern until you defeat Irad. This is one of the necessary things that you have to do in order to explore the new biome. So if you haven't beaten Irad yet on your current thread, definitely go do that. You just literally can't do this biome without it. It's one of the things that you just can't sequence break. The Sun Lantern lets you can kind of see a lighting effect around your character when the Sun Lantern is active, and it just lets you go around the biome. Now, one important thing with this biome, as you can see with Enoch's notes here, is the forks. So these are tuning forks, if you're not familiar with what a tuning fork is. On the map here, there's white dots. Those are locations of tuning forks. And locations of tuning forks are going to be important locations in the biome, from boss fights to hints and everything like that. One of the ones that you're going to find has this giant dragon, and this dragon is not an enemy. This is Ladon the dragon. When you first talk to him, he'll say greetings to you, and there may have come who is looking for Tubal, and it's essentially that he's trapped, and if you free him, he is going to show you where Tubal is. Now, in order to free him, you need to obviously remove these chains. You can't just destroy the chains. We need to unlock them. So to unlock them, we need to go follow the forks. So there will be more white dots on the map. You just need to basically go follow those white dots. Go find them on the map, and you'll eventually find rooms that have keys in them. You're looking for an Onyx key and a Pearl key. There's some somewhat tough platforming, but it's not too bad compared to Sun Tower. This one right here has the Onyx key, and you will use this on the Onyx portal. However, before we go to the Onyx portal, we are going to get the Pearl key. Now, the Pearl key has a significantly harder platforming challenge, at least in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this because I failed a ton. I personally don't use any extra dash or jumps. This is honestly where it could have been useful. As you can see, I struggled a lot, but here is the Pearl key. Now, with these keys, you're going to need to go to other locations on the map that have the tuning forks, and you'll be able to use the keys. So right here you can see tuning fork, and it shows up on the map. And this is going to be a mini boss fight. This is essentially like the Gonghead and Murmur fights from the Stygian study, if you guys recall that. One thing to note, I am doing all this on New Game Plus 0, basically a fresh save, but as you can see, I'm level 850, so I'm way over leveled for this fight. These fights are not this easy at all. I just wanted to speed through this just so I could show you guys how to do everything. And here you can see once you defeat those void beasts, the chain breaks off the dragon, and you're halfway done. Now we're going to go to the next portal. Again, you're just going to need to look on the map and find out where those rooms are. They are marked with white on the map, so they shouldn't be too difficult to find. Here's some more floating weapons. This is a common theme in this area, is the weapon type enemies, and you'll see why when we get to the boss fight. This fight feels easier. Again, it's kind of hard for me to gauge that because I'm playing at such a low difficulty. I don't have any house rules turned on, but you know, I'm still way over leveled. But you defeat that void beast, and now the dragon is finally free. And his little collar will pop off, and we can go talk to him and see what he has to say now that he's free. So we go talk to him. He says, "You have your honor. Tubal, the one you seek, lies within me." Yes, Tubal is literally inside Ladon. He's inside his stomach. Like, literally. He opens his mouth, and that's where you go fight Ladon. Before we do that, though, we need to go get our damage boost. So one of the locations that's marked on the map is the storeroom. If you remember from, previous biomes, journal entries will typically show you how to get the damage boost, and this one's no different. Once you get all the journal entries, it's going to say exactly where the accessories are. It literally means where this red circle is in the video. It is literally there. The arrow in the dialog box is pointing to the door. It's very difficult to tell, but if you stand on the barrel, you can go into a secret door. It's a little tricky and it's honestly pretty clever. But as with other insight rooms, you just need to read all the journal entries. Right there in the bottom left of the room, there's a cracked wall. You break open that wall and then you'll be able to find the last note. I had a lot of trouble finding that, but once you crack open that wall and read this journal entry in the very bottom, you will have the 15% damage boost. But yes, if you destroy those prompts in the storeroom from a little bit ago, you are going to have to reload with a new air. That happened to me a couple of times. Just make sure you have all the journal entries if you want to understand the hint. That was something that also happened to me. I actually found this room without reading all the journal entries, so I was really confused what it meant. But yeah, the journal entries really explain that, and as with the Sun Tower, you do need to go into the storeroom with different airs in order to see all the journal entries. If you're wondering why the journal entries aren't popping up, that's how you do it. Once that insight is resolved, we are good to go ahead and fight Tubal inside of this dragon's stomach. Tubal is an awesome looking boss. I really love the design and I really love the fight. He spawns minions like during the fight. You can see in the background the flying enemies that are just floating back there. He will spawn those enemies in the game, or in the fight rather. And as you can see, I'm also using the Bard class. I'm probably going to do a video on the new classes. I figured if I'm overpowered anyways, I may as well use one of the new classes, because why not? It is a pretty fun fight though. And right there you can see he's entering his second phase. He actually has a sort of a third phase. It's not anything too different, but it is cool that he does have a sort of third phase when all the other bosses at this point have two. Well, the regular bosses anyways. It's a relatively fun fight. I know I'm overpowered, but this fight lasted a pretty significantly long time. Here's the third phase starting. There's these spinning death wheels on the side of the map. I ended up just taking him out with, a little spin kick there because I'm OP. But that is the fight done. I definitely suggest grinding it out a little bit if you're playing on a higher difficulty. I plan on doing the same thing on my New Game Plus 10 version and open that up. And one thing worth noting, since this is a new boss in the game, if you defeat this at, say, New Game Plus 10, you're actually going to get souls for threads 0 through 10. You don't have to go back and fight him every single time. You just have to fight him once at the highest thread you have, and you'll get a bunch of souls at once. So don't worry about fighting him at every New Game Plus level. But right there, we are good to go. And you can even, pet the dragon. And one little bonus thing, you can actually get souls from talking to the dragon. You need to go talk to him in more than one run, just like with all the other NPCs. But he does grant souls like the other NPCs. So just a heads up, definitely go do that. I know this is a quick guide, but I wanted to get you guys the essentials so you guys can dive right into this update. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video really soon.